What's good, YouTube? Dom Staven Sports Cards here, back with another video. Hope you're all doing well. This is going to be a special video response for a man that I look up to a lot in this hobby. That is Frank at Baseball Hall of Fame Autographs. Frank is one of the most knowledgeable autograph collectors I have ever seen or heard of. He puts a ton of thought and time into his videos and educates at the highest level I've seen in our YouTube community. Frank, I'm taking this moment to just kind of compliment you and thank you because I really wanted to do this in person at the National in Atlantic City. I was really looking forward to meeting you and thanking you and talking shop about autographs because a lot of people know about my card origins, but when I first started going to my local card shop and I'd see all the autograph frame pieces on the wall, the baseballs, footballs, etc., autograph memorabilia was something that I saw as so cool, and I've been able to pick up plenty of stuff over the years alongside my card collecting, and I hope to one day have one of those awesome man caves that some of you have in the community to display my autographs and my cards and do all that. It's a big life goal for me in the future when I have my own home, but till then, a lot of this stuff is in storage. A couple things are hanging in my bedroom, like this piece I'm about to talk about here today. But Frank, you said at the beginning of your announcement for this contest that you just hope that we're learning something. And I can tell you, whether it's someone like me that's 23 years old and passionate about the Hall of Fame, or people that have been in this for a lot longer, everyone who watches your content has learned a hell of a lot, and we're all very appreciative for it. So if you're not checking him out, the link will be in the description. Frank, anything you need to know about baseball autographs, he is your guy. His analyses are super in-depth, talks about what to look for in fakes and what to look for in the real deal, and he does a lot of research, great books. He'll even give you tax advice for all of you that are in that kind of financial decision point with the hobby that have to kind of figure out your taxes around sports cards and autographs. But without further ado, he wanted us to share the story of our favorite autograph in our collection, whether that is something that is super valuable or isn't that valuable. He just wants to hear the passion. He wants to hear the story. And I've talked about Carl Yastrzemski very many times on this channel. I've mentioned a few times that I've met him, and there are some people in the community that have heard the majority of this story, but I've never put it out there for the vast majority of you in the community to kind of just listen to where I'm coming from and the day that I got to meet Carl Yastrzemski. So we're going to get into it. Flashback to fall of 2018, my sophomore year in college up in Massachusetts, and I was playing football, Division III. I was a running back, and I was giving our starting defense a good look, and whatever reason, whether someone was having a bad day or just really slipped, I made a move, and someone barreled into my head at 100 miles per hour, it felt like, and I went down instantly. After that, things were a little spotty memory-wise. I was kind of in and out of what was going on, and it was something where I had to get brought to a hospital and checked out neurologically to make sure that there wasn't any bleeding. I had to be monitored. I was very out of things for almost a whole month early in my sophomore year, and it was something that really brought me down. I was super blessed to have a great support system around me with my teammates and coaches, along with my friends and girlfriend at the time, and I was able to get through it, but it wasn't easy at all. There's still things that bother me to this day, but I take a lot of pride in being able to get past that time in my life and get where I am today. That being said, in the fall, I was not doing well. I had just had football ripped away from me. I didn't know what the long-lasting effects on my head would be, and I just didn't feel like myself very much. This was early September. Not feeling good. I see on Facebook that Tim Wakefield, Red Sox knuckleballer, would be showing up at the Prudential Center down in Boston. They have a big shopping mall there. And he was going to be at a sporting goods store, and he's going to be signing for the first 50 people for free. And I'm like, oh, that's really awesome. They also raffled off a lot of cool Red Sox signed memorabilia. It was just a cool time. And not a lot of people showed up, but I was the first one in line, I'll tell you that, because I was having such a bad time. It was on a game day where I wasn't able to travel with the team, and I was just there. My friend brought me to the Prudential Center, dropped me off, picked me up later, and it was really cool that I got to meet someone that I watched for my childhood team growing up, shake his hand, and get an autograph. But the story leads to Carl Yastrzemski because I went to that Tim Wakefield signing, and the lady who was in line second or third behind me asked me how I heard of it, and she told me about this amazing app called Crave the Auto. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Crave the Auto, it is an app that will show listings of signings, both public and private, that are going on in different states and with different companies. And it'll show links, and you'll either be able to find the contact information or the link to sign up for different events, both free and paid. And I was just like, oh, that's a really neat resource. Let me download that. I've not really met many professional athletes, and this is something that made me feel really good, and I think that I'd like to do more of these in the future as a collector, as a sports fan. Little do I know, I'm scrolling through Massachusetts, and I see in mid-November that Carl Yastrzemski will be signing in person at a hotel. And my eyes lit up. I immediately clicked on it. I saw that the cheapest option was for a card, not excluding his rookie, and that was $60, which to me was dirt cheap for a Yastrzemski autograph, and the fact that I got to meet him, priceless. I already had Yastrzemski autographs. I had all his cards. But I just wanted to meet him and hopefully take a picture. So I emailed the guy who was running the signing and asked him about pictures, if that was an extra fee, if Carl was taking pictures, etc. And he was like, oh, Carl is really good about taking pictures of the fans. Just make sure you ask and are polite. Give the phone to one of our employees and they'll snap a picture for you. And I was like, that's all I need to hear. I'm coming. Get there about an hour and a half before the signing starts. Really early. I try to be early with these things. And there's already almost 20 people in front of me. They're all saying he hasn't signed in person for like 4 years now, and that he made a deal with the guy who runs this signing company before he passed away that he would do another show for him. So he was honoring that. He had just thrown out the first pitch in the World Series in October at Fenway. Greatest living Red Sox player, my vintage card hero. And just waiting in line, and we see a group of huge guys with luggage just coming out and getting on a bus. And I look over, and it's the Yale football team from New Haven, Connecticut, not far from me at all. They're going to play Harvard. And that was just so cool to me. That's a game that I've seen plenty of times at the Yale Bowl. And I just knew in that moment that that's where I was supposed to be that day. I had made the right decision to come. And we're just waiting. I'm talking to some people about Yastrzemski, about Boston, about who's a good signer, who they've had bad incidents with, because I'm just interested in this whole world that I haven't really been dipping into. And about 20 minutes before the signing, we see a car pull up. Carl gets out, and he starts smoking a giant cigar outside the hotel. It's like 8:45 in the morning, and he's just going to town on a cigar, and not dressed up or anything. Probably not super happy to be there, but he made a promise, and he was going to keep it. He gets in line. I'm hoping that none of the people in front of me make him mad, and he turns down my photo request. And get up there. I get to shake his hand, tell him it's an honor to meet him, and ask him, will you take a picture with me? And he says, of course. And I get behind his chair, and I'm like, hey, thank you, you're the greatest. Let me take a picture. And I was like, I'm framing this up with this index card because this is a moment I'm never going to forget. I talk about the National being the best moment in my hobby life, and the best moment in my sports fan life would probably be meeting Carl Yastrzemski in person. So there's the picture of me and him from November 2018, and there is the autographed index card. With the $60 price, you got to inscribe it either TC 67 or Hall of Fame 89. I opted for Hall of Fame. They were selling Hall of Fame postcards there too for $1, so I picked one up. And, I got the whole display hanging in my room, and it's something that every time I look at, it brightens my day and makes me feel better. And it's something that showed the power of sports and this hobby and autographs, and how little things like that can go a long way no matter what you're going through. And this is definitely something that helped me get through a dark time in my life. It was really interesting. Next year, after his grandson broke into the majors and he was in the spotlight again, he did a signing with the same company about a year later, and he was asking, I believe, $120 for the cheapest option baseball card index card. And I just sat there saying, well, I hit it absolutely right. Then the pandemic hits in 2020, and he hasn't done a public signing since. He's done a couple of private ones. I was meant to be there that day. Everything lined up perfect for me. I got to meet my vintage baseball card hero, take a picture, and a memory that will last a lifetime. So if you're not following Frank, I will leave the description link below. He is the guy for Hall of Fame autographs. He's a great dude, and I hope to meet you at some point in person, Frank. Thank you for all you do for the community. Hope you guys enjoyed my story, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.